There is something about speed weeks at Daytona. Something about the beach, the clear skies, the cool air. Every driver has an extra gleam in their eye. Every team starts the season with a clean slate. The crews wear crisp new uniforms. The cars sport bright new paint jobs. The stars come out, and the fans are always waiting with pen and program in hand. When the curtain rose on the 2002 edition of Speed Weeks, many people saw it as a chance to start over, a chance not to forget the tragedies of 2001, but rather to learn from them and grow, a chance to honor those lost with a deeper appreciation for who they were and how they might make the world a better place to live and race. The 44th edition of the Daytona 500 was not overshadowed by the memory of Dale Earnhardt. Instead, it was touted as a tribute to the man who had loved the great American race so very, very much. Carrying the torch for the man in black would be the son that shares his name, and an old friend, Dave Marcus, who was making his 33rd and final Daytona 500 start. Rookie Jimmy Johnson led the field to the green flag, but it was Kevin Harvick in the Intimidator's car who led the first 3 laps. And Michael Waltrip, in a Dale Earnhardt Incorporated Chevy, he led the next 30. Although Earnhardt's son would not fare as well. It was a furious 3.5-hour battle, with 20 drivers taking a turn at the front, everyone holding their breath in anticipation of the big one, the multi-car wreck that seems to always play restrictor plate racing. 61 laps from the finish, it happened.
Oh, look out!
21 cars were suddenly out of contention, including Harvick, Johnson, Ken Schrader, and Ricky Rudd. The race was now in the hands of a pair of 2-time 500 winners, leader Jeff Gordon, second place Sterling Marlin. During a single-file restart with only 6 laps remaining, Marlin made his move.
Oh, Jeff Gordon spinning down the inside.
The red flag quickly came out to try and preserve a green flag finish, and the leaders were parked to wait out the track cleanup effort. That's when Sterling Marlin decided to open up his own personal body shop on the Daytona backstretch.
Sterling Marlin is jumping out of his car. He's going around to look at the right front fender. But, he can't do that.
Marlin was penalized for working on his car under the red flag and dropped to the tail end of the lead lap. He had to settle for an 8th place finish. The new leader was Ward Burton, but Burton would have to hold off fellow Virginian Elliott Sadler and 1986 Daytona 500 winner Jeffrey Bodine over 3 frantic final laps.
Checker flag is up, and Ward Burton is going to win the 44th Daytona 500.
Burton's efforts resulted in the biggest win of his 9-year Winston Cup career, a check for nearly $1.5 million, and his name on the most coveted race winners trophy in NASCAR. A trip to Rockingham in the Sand Hills of North Carolina means one thing, and one thing only: getting down to business. 1 week removed from the glitz, the glamour of Daytona, Rockingham is a chilly reminder of the long season that lies ahead and the marathon of a point chase. Every driver knows that 2 bad runs in the first 2 races could quickly leave would-be title contenders on the outside looking in.
Trouble on the leader, Dale Jarrett.
One outside.
Is up in smoke.
Caution is on the speedway.
Clear low.
It blew up.
Sterling Marlin was once again at the point, with Bobby Labonte in pursuit. Matt Kenseth had ridden near the front all day. With 6 laps to go, he sensed that it was time to make his move. Kenseth whipped his Taurus below Bobby Labonte into second, then drove even lower to challenge Sterling Marlin for the lead. As he pulled alongside the Coors Dodge, the former Rookie of the Year got a little help from the Rock itself.
Here comes Kenseth.
Marlin's slip rewarded Kenseth's bold move, and it put the Wisconsin kid back in victory lane for the first time in nearly 2 years. In Sin City, everyone knows the odds are either with you or very much against you. On a blustery March day in Nevada's high desert, Lady Luck finally decided to go dancing with Sterling Marlin. Nearing the halfway point of the 400-mile race, Marlin spun off turn 4. He made a trip to the pits to check on his Dodge Intrepid, and he broke the pit road speed limit in the process. But missed communication between NASCAR officials saved the Chip Ganassi team from the 15-second penalty. Sensing a second light, Sterling rolled the dice and started reeling in the competition.
Sterling Marlin brings the Coors Light Dodge across the line for his ninth Winston Cup victory.
The win marked Marlin's third top 10 finish in as many races. The season's early championship favorite had officially made his presence known. Very quietly, a movement was beginning to stir in the Winston Cup garage. A youth movement. The 30 and under set, scattered throughout the top 15 in points. The so-called young guns were led by a pair of rookies that raced like anything but rookies. Ryan Newman set second in points, only 74 markers behind leader Marlin. Jeff Gordon's young protege, Jimmy Johnson, won the pole at Daytona and finished 6th at Las Vegas. It became obvious early that this young pair of racers far exceeded the dates on their birth certificates.
We started this year and approached this year as we were capable of winning the championship, capable of running in the top 10 in points and winning races and sitting on poles. And that's how we entered this year, and to this date it's got us second in points.
Someday I'm not going to be young, and I might have a different view then. But I think that there's a lot working in young drivers' directions these days. There's been a lot of young guys paving the road for us, other guys that are coming along to be in this first class equipment, be in these great rides in the Winston Cup Series. And I'm thankful for Dale Jr., Matt Kenseth, and Tony Stewart, and all those guys that came onto the scene and really showed what some youth can do in one of these race cars.
At the Atlanta Motor Speedway, youth was served. 46-year-old pole sitter Bill Elliott, the oldest driver in the field, was quickly overtaken by Newman. Of the race's 325 laps, only 4 were led by drivers over 31 years of age.
Trouble on pit road. Bobby Labonte's car was hit and turned around.
As veterans fell by the wayside, Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch, Tony Stewart, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. traded the top spot over and over again. Stewart's move around Ward Burton with 22 laps to go set a new race record of 34 lead changes, and the dirt track legend never looked back. At Daytona, Stewart had finished dead last, completing only 3 laps. Just 4 weeks later, he was back in victory lane. Awaiting the young guns 1 week later, the place known as the track too tough to tame. Since 1950, the Darlington Raceway has earned its reputation as a monster that chews up racing's best and sends them home humbled. Only 5 races into the season, it was becoming obvious that there would be no time for mistakes, no time for a lapse in concentration. Losing focus for even 1 second could result in a Darlington stripe and a tumble in the standings. A good day at Darlington is to survive. A great day is what NASCAR legends are forged upon.
Just race the track, and you got to here. If you get caught up really trying to race somebody, you'll be winding the fence. And just race this track, and should be good to you.
Steve Park made his return to the number 1 Chevy for the first time in 7 months and led 19 laps early. Marlin began the race at the rear of the field after changing engines in the Saturday practice. But by the halfway point, he had his Dodge in 3rd place, hot on the heels of Jeff Gordon's Chevy. Tony Stewart rode at the point until the Lady in Black decided to intervene.
A ferocious crash in the back straightaway coming off turn number 2.
Stewart was airlifted from the track. He was sore, but okay. Gordon brushed Stewart's car and fell out of contention during repairs. Marlin found himself in the lead once again and outpaced Elliott Sadler for his second win in 5 races. After Darlington came a visit to Thunder Valley, Tennessee. The Bristol Motor Speedway, the traditional first short track visit of the season, a place that requires 3 days of total, unwavering focus for both driver and crew.
I've done a good job in the short tracks in the past, but I've learned to really like them, and I know the feel I want out of the car. And when I can get that feel, then I'm ready to rock and roll and win that race. I just love Bristol. It's a real high bank racetrack. It's got a lot of G-forces in the corner. I've won there 9 times. It's one of my favorite places, and so probably one of the biggest secrets of Bristol for me is that I love it.
Hot tempers and short fuses are always the order of the day at Bristol, and there was plenty of emotion after Saturday's Busch Series event. After a stern talking to from the NASCAR brass, it was time to rock and roll.
Pull them belts real tight, buddy. We going for a ride. 16 seconds a lap. Get ready to take a deep breath. I'm taking the green flag. Go, go, go. Green, green, green. Boogity, boogity, boogity. And let me down in front of you, JP. Thank you.
Still nursing back pain from Darlington, Tony Stewart led 73 laps, but was forced to surrender his seat mid-race. Super Sub Todd Bodine rallied the 20 car to a 15th place finish. Dale Earnhardt Jr. led nearly half the event, but was done in by pit strategy, and 4-time winner Jeff Gordon simply spun out on his own. Jimmy Spencer, seeking his first win in nearly 8 years, took the lead from 23-year-old Kurt Busch on lap 444 in turn 4. But Busch came right back with a Spencer-like move of his own.
Whoa, he hit him. Busch got under him and muscled Jimmy Spencer. You don't see that often.
It was the first win for Roush Racing's youngest driver and the 5th different winner in 6 races.
This is what it's all about. Just racing hard, racing smart, having a good car, and being there at the end of the race. You never expect to win at Bristol, you just expect to survive.
While Busch celebrated, a new Winston Cup rivalry was born, and revenge was all but promised.
Got railroaded out of the lead, just got smashed 2 in the back bumper. I mean, it's evident on tape, I'm sure they got it. Shouldn't race that way, but he won it. I just don't forget, that's all.
Meanwhile, Robbie Gordon took exception to a similar shot from Earnhardt Jr. and took time to express his feelings on pit road.
Well, he wouldn't move over. He was a moving chicane the whole race, so we had to deal with him at the end.
Junior came in and tried to run me into the pit lane wall, so I hit him back. I don't know what his problem is. I mean, that's twice today. He hit me 2 times before I got him, so it's what you call racing.
As spring began, it was time to head west for a visit to a crown jewel in the Lone Star State, the Texas Motor Speedway. It was the time of the season where teams either start clicking or they start to fall apart. With 500 miles of racing and a newly paved racetrack, the teams who had developed that chemistry would own a back-breaking advantage over the teams who had not.
Usually when stuff doesn't go right, either the driver goes or the crew chief goes, which is a normal procedure in Winston Cup racing.
As a team, you look at everyone individually and you know that everyone is giving 100%, and that's really all you can do is your absolute best.
2 days of rain moved the Texas Scramble to Monday morning, where once again Bill Elliott was on the pole. Matt Kenseth started the day in the rear of the field, but patiently and methodically clawed his way toward the front under the watchful eye of owner Jack Roush.
To be honest, real disappointed, real disappointed, and I was real worried about starting in the back here. This is, if I had to pick out a few tracks, I would not want to start in the back. This I thought would have been one of them, but the track got pretty wide, and we were able to pass the cars like we needed to.
Dale Jarrett's blistering early pace had whittled the number of cars on the lead lap to an exclusive club of 15, including Kenseth.
Dale Jarrett was real fast. There was a lot of green flag running. There was times where I was entering turn 1 and he was at the start-finish line. He was getting pretty close to putting me away, and I was back there trying to pass cars. So, with air off the nose and running in traffic, I was running, a good bit slower than he was until I got out and open. So we weren't that far away from being lapped at a certain time in the race.
2 cautions over the final 100 laps left the race in the hands of the pit crews. just the kind of pressure Robbie Reiser's team thrives on. The reigning world champion crew got their driver out first, twice, and victory number 2 was in the books.
Feels unbelievable to win 2 races in snow. I think our 7th race of the year, so it's been an unbelievably good feeling. It's not something I expected for sure, and to come to a big racetrack like this and be able to pull the win off is pretty important to us.
Martinsville began with a message and a very noticeable absence. Already on probation following his actions at Bristol, Kevin Harvick was once again in trouble after a Craftsman Truck Series incident on Saturday at Martinsville. Sunday morning, he was gone, parked by NASCAR, and Kenny Wallace was behind the wheel of the GM Goodwrench Chevy.
I feel strange right now. I need to get inside the race car, you know.
Once underway, the Virginia 500 became the Joe Gibbs Racing Show. Short track ace Tony Stewart led over 150 laps, while teammate Bobby Labonte stayed on his heels. Rolling over the flat, tight corners and blasting down the drag strip straights, sheet metal and brake pads, they didn't stand a chance. But again, pit strategy was the theme, and with 54 laps remaining, it was time for teams to show their hand. Stewart gave up track position in exchange for 4 fresh tires, while Labonte decided to take his chance on old shoes. With the green back out, all eyes were on Stewart, who picked off his competitors one by one. Eyes set on his teammate at the front. Then came a caution, and another, and time ran out. Stewart finished 4th, while the hard-luck former champion finally celebrated his first short track title.
The aircraft that Jack was flying as the sole passenger and pilot crashed, and Jack received serious injuries.
Just hours after qualifying at Talladega, Jack Roush was critically injured in a single-seat airplane crash in southern Alabama. The 60-year-old was pulled from the fiery wreckage as it began to sink into a local lake. The hero was retired U.S. Marine and cancer survivor Larry Hicks. As Roush recovered in a Birmingham hospital, his 4 drivers went to work on NASCAR's biggest and most fearsome circuit. A 2.6-mile monster with 6 stories of banking and packs of 20 to 30 cars banging like they're racing on a quarter-mile dirt track.
NASCAR's goal is to have 43 cars on a photo finish at the end of 500 miles.
The idea nearly worked. Officially, the lead at Talladega changed hands 26 times. Unofficially, it was twice that. Racing on knowledge learned from their father, friend, and boss, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip, once again made a restrictor plate race their personal playground. They charged to the front and stayed there, which was a very good idea. The scene in the rearview mirror was not pretty.
Trouble, Stewart in the wall.
Here we go. Here we go.
Robbie Gordon's in at the 33. Harvick is around.
Here we go, guys.
The big one.
24 cars were sent spinning, leaving 21 on the lead lap to duke it out for the win.
Here comes Michael to the bottom, and he's going to run out of time. Earnhardt Jr. wins at Talladega.
Once again, there was no one on the track that could match the 1-2 restrictor plate punch of Dale Earnhardt Incorporated.
Drivers, start your engine!
At California, Ryan Newman led the field to the green flag for the first time in 2002, but it was his fellow freshman who would win that day. Jimmy Johnson and Kurt Busch were battling door to door for the lead when the caution came out for the final time.
Harvick cut a tire, came right down on us.
10 of the 11 cars made the dive onto pit road, leaving Bill Elliott in the lead. At the last second, crew chief Chad Knaus decided to go with a fuel-only stop and got Johnson off pit road first. The rookie quickly disposed of Elliott and 14 laps later found himself in victory lane after just 13 Winston Cup starts.
This is unbelievable. I know my dad is sitting at home going crazy, my mom, but what you do here, Dad figures you don't come to the race and we win the dang thing. This is awesome to do in California in front of my hometown. I just can't sit out for Lowe's, all the support from the employee owners, Hendrick Motorsports, Jeff Gordon and Rick Hendrick for believing in me. These guys back here believe in me.
There is a reason that fans cram into the Richmond International Raceway. It's the same reason that drivers strap into their machines with a little extra attitude here, racing attitude. For when the sun goes down and the lights come on at Richmond, everyone knows that there is no better place for racing and rubbing. But this Richmond was different for all the wrong reasons. A slick track surface and a rainy Saturday night led to plenty of dicey moments on the track and hours of boredom off of it. When the race restarted on Sunday, the caution flag waved 14 times, covering 103 laps, more than a quarter of the Revolution's run.
Hang on to it, hang on to it.
Caution, lap 146, Dale Earnhardt Jr. pounds the wall coming out of turn 4.
The leaders fell like raindrops from the night before. Ward Burton led 125 laps only to be foiled by a faulty transmission. Ricky Rudd led 90 laps, but was clipped by Rusty Wallace in a battle with a flattening tire. And Johnson's bid for 2 in a row, that ended in a pass for the lead. Rookie number 2 would see his turn slip away just a few laps later. Stewart held off Ryan Newman for his second win of the season, but Newman's night would come on a much bigger stage. For 17 years, NASCAR's best have gathered for racing's only true all-star event, the Winston. Jeremy Mayfield and Ryan Newman captured the preliminary events, adding their names to the coveted roster of former champions, all-time greats, and youthful newcomers who would be aiming for the $700,000 prize. The new survival of the fastest format would eliminate a handful of drivers at the end of the first 2 segments, leaving a third 10-car showdown for the finish.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Segment 1, a 30-lap sprint, almost won with a little sleight of hand. All cars were required to pit once, and nearly all came in after a 4-car wreck at the halfway point. But Jeff Burton had other plans and decided to cross the finish line on pit road. If not for Jimmy Johnson, it would have worked.
I have got to tip my hat to Frank Stoddard. I can't wait to see him after this race regardless, because that was a brilliant call.
Johnson won the race, and the last car to transfer to segment 2 was Newman, who finished 20th. Soon after the start of segment 2, Newman tangled with Elliott Sadler in turn 1, prompting Sadler to turn his helmet into a shot put. Johnson ran away with the second stage for his second win of the night, with Dale Earnhardt Jr. in second. One final segment remaining. 10 cars, 20 laps, one very large full moon. With 16 laps to go, Newman was in the lead, but Earnhardt Jr. was barreling through the field, and toward Newman's rear bumper, Kurt Busch spun Robbie Gordon, which he later admitted to as very deliberate. It set up a 5-lap dash to the finish. Welcome to the Winston.
Junior is there. Bumper tag.
Now, see, Junior respected him. He could have taken him around right there. And he lost some ground because he had to back off the throttle there.
Last chance.
He may not respect him here, though. Now he pushed up. Drove in hard.
Don't think he can do it. And Ryan Newman is going to win the Winston.
What a race.
Newman led a young gun charge that saw the top 7 positions swept by drivers 30 years and younger. Working quietly amid the young gun mania was 43-year-old Mark Martin. Written off after the 2001 season, the pride of Batesville, Arkansas, had worked his way up to fourth in the Winston Cup point standings, less than 200 points behind leader Sterling Marlin. With all eyes focused on the youth movement, Martin methodically worked on a return to Victory Lane, a place he had not visited in over 2 years.
We still have work to do. I'm not focusing on winning races. I'm focusing on stepping up the performance, and that's really where the wins will come.
Memorial Day weekend of 2002 took on an even greater meaning for all Americans as those who have served our country were remembered. From world wars to that tragic September day just 8 months earlier, it was a time to reflect on the men and women who had given the ultimate sacrifice for our American freedom. And a time to recognize the real heroes with the help of our racing heroes. Ricky Rudd started his record-breaking 656 consecutive Winston Cup race, joining an Ironman lineage that started with the King, Richard Petty, and Texas' Terry Labonte.
We're going to Charlotte!
Robbie Gordon arrived from Indianapolis, where he had just posted an 8th place finish in the Indy 500 just hours earlier. But now, it was down to 600 miles of high-speed stock car racing. For nearly 4 hours, Jimmy Johnson was again the man that 42 other drivers were chasing. The number 48 Chevy led 263 of the race's 400 laps. But even in a marathon, the smallest slip can be devastating. When the rookie overshot his pit stall by just 1 foot, he also overshot any chance at the win. With Johnson out of the way, it became a two-car standoff between Roush Racing teammates Mark Martin and Matt Kenseth. Martin held the point with a smooth-handling car. He relied on lap traffic to slow Kenseth's charge. After 73 races, Mark Martin was back in Victory Lane, his 33rd career win, along with $1 million bonus check.
That is the hardest I've ever drove in my life and won. I've drove that hard before and got beat, but Matt was putting the pressure on me, and I wanted to win it so bad.
But the youth movement was not finished. The lights of Charlotte now dark. It was time for a trip up the coast to Delaware, and time to welcome Jack Roush back to the track. The Dover International Speedway is a tight-turned 1-mile concrete circuit known by teams and fans alike as the Monster Mile, a monster that snacks on 3,400-pound stock cars. The 400-mile race seemed destined to be won by a veteran, as Ricky Rudd, Jeff Gordon, and Bill Elliott all took turns at the front. But it was Jimmy Johnson who was once again at the point in the waning laps. Determined not to lose another race on pit road, Johnson's number 48 stayed put with 30 laps to go as everyone else ducked in for fresh tires. Rudd was quickly done in by a loose wheel after the final stop. Elliott staged a furious charge on his new Goodyears. But no one had enough to catch Johnson. He grabbed his second win in 3 races. He moved into second in the point standings, behind Sterling Marlin. The season's first trip to the mountains of Pocono got off to a wet start, and it wasn't even raining. Saturated earth from a cloudburst the previous day sent water springing from beneath the Turn 3 asphalt. Qualifying was washed out. The field was established by point standings, and the track was barely broken in by race morning. Experience would become the key, and the veterans of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series took center stage led by a former champion who hadn't visited Victory Lane in over a year. Drivers 30 and older led 178 of the race's 200 laps as the veterans silenced the young guns for 500 Pocono miles. Mark Martin and crew chief Ben Leslie gambled on fuel mileage. They were undone by a late caution for debris. That set up a Robert Yates Racing Team battle for the win.
For the lead.
With just 6 laps remaining, the potential for a classic clash was flattened by an unruly tire.
Yeah, I'm really hating it right now. I'm glad to be here, but my teammate's having some terrible luck right now. Ricky Rudd, he did a great job last week, got himself in a position to win, then had the unfortunate problem with the tire, and then today here. Don't think I could have called him. We were just so equal, and it's really hard when you're trying to run down another Robert Yates engine, and makes it difficult.
Matt Kenseth earned 2 early wins at Rockingham and again at Texas, but was in free fall through the point standings as he arrived at Michigan in June. A Father's Day trip to the home state of boss Jack Roush would be just what the doctor ordered.
Green flag. Let's crank it up for you on this restart.
After a long day of strategy, fuel calculations, and teamwork on pit road, Elliott Sadler's spin with 4 laps to go brought out the red flag. It set up a 3-lap shootout to the finish.
Jarrett is there, going after Newman.
I believe he's got it, boys. He has those 4 fresh tires. He's going to take second position.
I think going for the win.
He's going to go to the outside.
Where?
Here he comes.
Go to block.
Here he comes. Kent is going to try to block him.
Jarrett going for 2 in a row. Matt Kenseth leads it. Jarrett looks low. No. Kenseth to win it.
Still 3 races shy of the season's halfway mark. The third-year driver already had 3 trophies on his mantle. After 5 months of left turns, it was time for a change of pace and scenery. The newly renamed Infineon Raceway is a 10-turn road trip through the rolling wine country of Northern California. Road racing is an art mastered by a truly elite group of Winston Cup drivers. It's the only style of racing that brings out the one-race hired guns. Turning left and right seems simple enough. It's something we all do every day, but not at 120 miles per hour. Early on, attrition was high. Points leader Sterling Marlin lost power steering, then his engine. He finished 43rd. 3-time Sonoma winner Jeff Gordon finished 37th with a failed rear end gear. Michigan winner Matt Kenseth met the same fate, finished 39th. When the dust cleared, the unlikeliest of leaders was cruising toward a win. Connecticut's Jerry Nadeau, pinch hitting for Steve Grissom in Richard Petty's number 44 Dodge, was nursing a 5-second lead over Ricky Rudd with just 2 laps to go. The dream ended and reality set in.
And it's over. What happened?
It blew up. I heard him say it was blowing up.
The glass slipper broke for Jerry Nadeau.
That's such a shame.
After heartbreak at Richmond, Dover, and Pocono, Ricky Rudd finally saw a break go his way and won at Infineon for the 2nd time. Nadeau could only imagine what might have been.
It always seems to happen to me. Oh man, last year we ran out of fuel at Atlanta. Should have won that race with 2 to go, 1 to go. Chicago, same thing, we lead the race. I tell you what, the guys gave me an awesome race car.
Ricky Rudd barely had time to celebrate his Sears Point win. His mind was already focused on his future. Car owner Robert Yates had announced that Elliott Sadler would be moving over from Wood Brothers Racing in 2003, reportedly to drive Rudd's car. It was a move that would kickstart one of the wildest silly seasons in recent memory. And as Rudd weighed his options for the next season, the entire garage waited for other shoes to drop. Nearly half a year after the season had started at Daytona, it was time to return to the beach. Only now it would be under the lights. Like restrictor plate clockwork, the two-car tandem of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip were once again dominating at a super speedway. Waltrip took the lead for the first time on lap 61. He never looked back, leading 99 of the race's final 100 laps.
Here you go. This is it, guys. Jarrett, Nemechek, Jeff Burton, Mike Skinner. It's over. Hard up into the wall, joined by another.
They just keep wrecking.
One by one, potential contenders fell by the wayside as Waltrip continued to set a furious pace. He kept a hammerhead's bite on the top spot.
4 laps to go. Whoa, Jeff Bodine gets into tie. They saved it.
With the laps counting down, Earnhardt made a bold move for the win, but instead found himself out of the draft, hung out to dry. With 3 laps to go, Waltrip's win was sealed.
Cars are all over the place again. Ryan Newman, 12 car. Dave Blaney in the 77 as well.
The red flag was not shown. Waltrip collected his second career win and his first since the ill-fated Daytona 555 races ago.
I'm real proud for all my boys. I'm real proud for Slugger. He just worked on this car till he made sure it was faster than everybody else's, and man, we won the race. We fended off a challenge from our teammates, so nobody can say we just held formation.
I think I should have followed him, but all the guys in the pits, they put a lot of effort behind this car, and they want to celebrate a victory because they know the car's capable of doing it. But I was kind of that same position Michael was in Talladega.
All but forgotten during the summer was the 2001 version of the young gun, Kevin Harvick. Since being parked by NASCAR at Martinsville, the 26-year-old had struggled to stay in the top 30 in points. A win at Chicago 1 year early had been the crowning achievement of his amazing rookie campaign. Since that day, however, he was winless, prompting Richard Childress to swap his crew with teammate Robbie Gordon. It was time to return to the Windy City. Time to return the wind to Harvick's sails.
75,000 on their feet for the green flag. The Tropicana 400 is underway.
Rookie Ryan Newman was once again on the pole, with Harvick starting back in 39th. On a restart with 70 laps to go, Harvick steered his Chevy down into turn 1 on the apron.
Oh, can he save it? Oh, he's still out of shape. No, yeah, he's going to follow it. He wrecked for a mile, but he finally made it.
Oh, behind him, too.
After the caution, the GM Goodwrench car blasted its way through the pack, taking the lead with 24 laps to go.
The fuel is going to hold up, and Kevin Harvick is going to come to the start-finish line and take the checkered flag. His third Winston Cup win. He wins the Tropicana 400 for a second straight year.
Some called his apron dance daring, others foolish. But it was the maneuver that put Harvick back in victory lane for the first time in 35 races.
Things have been going good last few weeks, and just haven't had the real finishes to show for it. People in the garage have seen it. I mean, we've seen it. Richard Childress had a lot of faith in me. Fans had a lot of faith in all of us, and I don't know where the rest of them finished, but it was a good day for RCR, a good weekend for RCR, and I just can't wait to go celebrate this one.
As the Winston Cup Series traveled up I-95 to New England, Daytona 500 winner Ward Burton found himself immersed in a ghastly slump. He had found the top 10 only twice since Daytona and finished 30th or worse a heartbreaking 10 times in 18 races. The New Hampshire International Speedway represented new hope, a new start, and sported a track surface with brand new asphalt inside its tight, flat corners. In the early stages of that 300-mile event, that asphalt began to come up in chunks. Cars began to careen toward Loudon's white walls, and Goodyear tires were cut to ribbons by blacktop marbles. No one, not even race leaders, were immune.
Matt Kenseth is the leader. Ward Burton is second. Look at this, Ward Burton on Kenseth for the lead.
Burton took the lead with 9 laps to go. He held off upstart Jeff Green for his second win of the season. He had started the day 31st and was still 25th in the point standings. On a day when almost no one was happy, Ward Burton could finally celebrate again. "19 races into the 2002 season, 13 different drivers had visited Victory Lane, and another 30 were becoming anxious to add their names to the list. The season's second trip to the Poconos might well have been in a time machine. On the pole for the second consecutive weekend was the oldest regular in the field, Bill Elliott. But it was two youngsters who took the most memorable ride of the day.
Oh, trouble! Steve Park is off into the infield. Another car ball over on his lid. It's Parkindale Jr. Terrible crash.
Both Park and Earnhardt Jr. walked away from their two-car demolition derby. When the race restarted 1 hour later, Sterling Marlin led 75 laps to nearly double his point lead over Mark Martin. But it was Elliott who earned his 42nd career win in a race shortened by sundown.
Bill Elliott bringing it home for Ray Evernham and Dodge as Elliott wins the Pennsylvania 500 at Pocono.
Awesome Bill would not have to wait long for win number 43. Before there was a Martinsville, a Darlington, or even a Daytona International Speedway, there was Indianapolis. Since 1909, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway had truly been the racing capital of the world. Entering just its 9th edition, the Brickyard 400 had already become the second most prestigious event on the calendar, trailing only the Daytona 500. A win at Indy would add one's name to the list of America's racing immortals. Names still absent from that list included the famous monikers of Wallace, Martin, Marlin, and Elliott. Indiana's native son, Tony Stewart, was on the pole, becoming the first driver to start at the point of both the 400 and the Indianapolis 500. The track's new soft wall safety system was tested, and tested early, by Brett Bodine. Again by Kurt Busch, after yet another tangle with Jimmy Spencer.
Been having troubles with turn 3 this weekend. In qualifying we spun, and that put us in a bad position. Back there with the decrepit old has-beens, I guess. It's just been a tough way. I mean, when he calls out what he's going to do and then actually goes out there and does it, I mean, I guess he's a never-was is really the term that we need to bring up today. But real unfortunate, we had the car to beat. We were going to the front, Rubbermaid, very sorry about it. We'll go back and work at it next week. I mean, it's tough when you bump somebody at 100 miles an hour, and then when they come back and bump at 200 miles an hour. So if that's the way that Jimmy Spencer is, we know how he is, and we're not going to play like that.
Dale Jarrett's chances at a third Brickyard win slipped out of his hands and out of the hands of his crew when a tag-along catch can brought a back-breaking penalty. As the laps were counted down, the sport's biggest names had placed themselves front and center on the season's biggest stage. Over the final 30 laps, Mark Martin relinquished the lead to Stewart, who gave way to Wallace. With 11 laps to go, it was Bill who was awesome once again.
Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, and now Bill Elliott joins the list of winners of the Brickyard 400 at Indy.
Just 2 years earlier, critics had questioned Ray Evernham's decision to hire a driver who had begun his career during the Jimmy Carter administration. If the doubters had any questions on this day, they would have to be asked on the world's most famous piece of racing real estate, Victory Lane at Indianapolis.
I owe an awful lot to these guys and the people at Dodge. It just means a lot, man.
This place is very special, isn't it?
It really is.
I'm so proud of these guys and what they've done and what they've accomplished. It makes my job awful easy, but I'll tell you what, it says a lot for the guys here and all the guys back at the shop that put these things under me week in and week out. This is the greatest, man. This is the greatest.
Stewart faded to a 12th place finish, but still made headlines after the race with his physical confrontation with a local photographer. Apologies and fines would soon follow, but it was a moment that would haunt Stewart for the remainder of the season. The King, Richard Petty, once said that winning can't cure all of a man's problems, but can sure make him feel like it did. With that philosophy in mind, Stewart and company headed to the Finger Lakes region of Upper New York State. Winding through the farms above Seneca Lake lies the fabled Watkins Glen Road Course. From Formula One legends to Jeff Gordon, drivers from all eras of racing have visited the Glen's historic Victory Lane. On this day, it was a pair of Indiana natives who would slug it out for a piece of that coveted real estate. Late in the race, Ryan Newman was in front, but he had a rear-view mirror full of Home Depot orange. With 17 laps remaining, Stewart made his move.
Tony Stewart inside of Ryan Newman, now outside as they turn the corner.
And takes the lead.
Even on a late restart with 1 lap to go, no one was catching Stewart, who capped a weekend of controversy the only way a driver knows, by chasing down a checkered flag.
When you destroy your race team and you hurt your sponsor as bad as I have, you can't blame them for looking somewhere else and thinking about switching drivers. But Bob Nardelli, the CEO of Home Depot, is probably one of our biggest fans and one of my best friends. And all the people at Home Depot and Joe Gibbs Racing, they just don't give up, and that shows their attitude. They just never give up. So I'm not going to give up on them.
Next in 2002, a return to Michigan. Points leader and defending race champion Sterling Marlin was beginning to feel the heat, both from a sweltering August sun and Mark Martin, who was now just 53 points back. But it was the 88 car that had numerology on its side. On lap 11, Dale Jarrett's disappointing season got a little worse. He spun through the infield grass. He damaged the nose of his Ford Taurus. But on the 11th anniversary of his first career win, which came at Michigan, Jarrett would not be denied. With the help of some cool-headed pit strategy from his Robert Yates Racing crew, DJ picked his way through the field, making up 4 positions over the race's final 11 laps to take his second win of the season. For nearly a year, the impossible kept happening. Jeff Gordon was not winning races. Entering late August, the defending NASCAR Winston Cup champion had gone 31 races without a victory.
I love what I do. I love getting out there in the race car, but I love to win, and winning makes things a lot more fun. And so, I'm not going to be really having as much fun as I could until I get into Victory Lane. I think this team feels the same way. I think everybody's, doing an A+ job. They are doing the best job that we could possibly ask for. That doesn't mean we can't, get better. A little bit of luck wouldn't hurt, but, I believe, you make your own luck. And this is a strong team that knows how to stick together and get through, some of the bumpy times. And I don't know if you can appreciate the good times, as much until you go through some of the tougher times. And I can tell you we're appreciating those good times a lot right now. We'd appreciate a win a whole lot.
When the Rainbow Warriors returned to Thunder Valley, their driver assured them that nothing and no one would stand in their way. Beneath a spectacle of lights and a sea of race fans, Jeff Gordon was poised to make a champion statement. Sterling Marlin was assessed a penalty for a runaway jack, but he kept his points lead intact with a 7th place finish. Meanwhile, tempers flared and heel pads flew as hard-nosed short-track racing left sheet metal bent and egos bruised.
And Jimmy Johnson gets turned right in the front of Mark Martin.
Robbie, they're going to come in and hold you for 2 laps.
What? It's not right because he missed the gear shift. They're going to hold me for 2 laps.
I'm just telling you what they said.
I mean, why are they going to do that, Richard? I drove my butt off all day long and he missed the gear shift and I'm in trouble.
every form of racing he's ever been in, it's always somebody else's fault. He had me turn sideways before we even took the green. I didn't even have a chance to grab a gear. He was beating my bumper cover off me coming to the green because he wanted to restart in front of me. I'm trying to get my lap back as well, so he's just crying up the river like he always does. It's a shame. We got a chance to win the championship and we get spun out before we even take the green on a restart. It's wrong.
2 laps to go. Jeff Gordon found himself 1 position away from breaking his slump. Rusty Wallace was the poor soul occupying that position.
Ooh, Rusty didn't get off a 2 at all that time. Here comes Gordon, right up against the back bumper. Everybody in the crowd on their feet. 3 laps to go.
Slow the traffic, I think, caused that right there.
Here comes Gordon, right up to the bumper again.
Did you hear that wheel spin, Benny?
Yeah, I did hear that wheel spin.
The bump and run.
There it is.
Gordon underneath to the lead. 2 laps to go.
Gordon's winless drought was over. It was time to get a new kind of streak started. In the 53rd running of the Southern 500, it was a pack of former Darlington winners who waited out the rain, then dominated the day racing on the Lady in Black. It began with 5-time winner Bill Elliott, who led 43 of the race's first 90 laps. Elliott was joined at the front by fellow former Lady Tamers Mark Martin, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Burton, and Sterling Marlin. But in the end, it was Gordon who once again took the checkers. His record-tying 5th Southern 500 win, his 2nd victory in as many weeks. A win that moved him into 2nd position in the points, just 91 in back of Sterling Marlin. On the night of September 7th, NASCAR paused to honor the heroes of that same week, 1 year earlier. The result was a pre-race ceremony at the Richmond International Raceway that proved to be one of the most stirring moments in NASCAR Winston Cup history.
The NASCAR community will join all of America over the next few days in remembering September 11, 2001. We stand here tonight in honor of all those who fell victim that tragic day in Pennsylvania, in Washington, and in New York City.
Only 8 laps into the race, the 2002 season changed completely.
Hard into the wall. Oh, 2 more behind him.
Jimmy Spencer.
And the point leader, Sterling Marlin.
Marlin finished 43rd, suffering chest and shoulder injuries in the process. But the true repercussions of his accident would not be felt for a few more weeks. Marlin's mishap put Jeff Gordon in position to snatch away the points lead. But his hopes were sapped by engine trouble. 11 different drivers took turns at the front, including Greg Biffle, subbing for Bobby Hamilton, injured in a Craftsman Truck Series event 2 nights earlier. With less than 15 laps to go, Matt Kenseth was under fire from 6-time Richmond winner Rusty Wallace.
Off the pace, turn 2, right front's down.
Right front is down.
Yeah. Rusty Wallace loses a right front. He was closing on Matt Kenseth.
Kenseth scored his series-leading 4th win of the year, while Ryan Newman settled for 2nd place for the 4th time in 2002. Ricky Rudd finished a solid 7th, but found himself thrust into the headlines after cameras caught an ambush by Yates racing engine builder Larry Lackey and a quick but frightening altercation. Just 3 weeks earlier, Rudd had announced plans to leave Yates for the Wood Brothers in 2003. Over the next week, Lackey was fined by NASCAR and let go by Yates. Rudd spent the week holding an ice pack on a swollen left eye. Cool weather and a patched-up track surface kept anxieties to a reasonable level for the series' return trip to New Hampshire International Speedway. That same cool weather brought dark clouds to Loudon as well, which meant that every team ran every lap as if it might be the last. With threatening skies overhead, Johnny Benson was up front, looking to end a career-long NASCAR Winston Cup win drought.
And look at this, and there goes Newman, and there goes Kurt Busch.
And that's all it takes is one little slip, and boom, 2 positions.
The pair of 24-year-olds played a 130-mile-per-hour game of tag for the final 40 laps when the cool New England rains finally came. After a season full of runner-up finishes, Ryan Newman was finally a first-time NASCAR Winston Cup winner.
You know, it's awesome, and I don't probably show the emotion that I should, but you know, just to have my dad here, Don Miller, everybody, say hi to Roger Penske. Thanks for giving me the opportunity, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's awesome for us.
Newman's win catapulted the rookie from 10th to 8th in the point standings. In addition, Mark Martin knocked Sterling Marlin out of the points lead for the first time in 25 races. Now, with only 9 races to go, the top 5 drivers were separated by just 67 points, and the top 8 by less than 200. Easily the tightest championship chase in NASCAR history. Trip number 2 to Dover looked an awful lot like trip number 1. Jimmy Johnson started the day 19th. By the halfway point, Johnson had blasted his low Chevy through traffic and back up in front. After withstanding several late charges by Martin, Johnson completed the Delaware sweep, tying Tony Stewart's rookie record with 3 wins and joining Newman as the first pair of rookies to win in back-to-back weeks. Suddenly, members of the number 48 team weren't just talking about winning Rookie of the Year. They were beginning to whisper about a championship. The NASCAR Winston Cup Series rolled into Kansas City like a Midwestern twister, gaining momentum with each cycle, cutting a path of destruction through the point standings. Victim number 1, Sterling Marlin, who hit the backstretch wall hard, just past the halfway point of the race. He finished 33rd. Victim number 2, Mark Martin, whose engine went sour with 20 laps to go. He finished 25th. That cleared the way for the 2-car Hendrick tag team of Gordon and Johnson. Gordon captured his 3rd win in 6 weeks. Johnson overcame an early flat tire to finish 10th, and he became the first rookie in NASCAR Winston Cup history to sit atop the point standings. But the biggest shock of the season was still 48 hours away. Marlin's crash had resulted in a cracked vertebrae of the neck. As soon as the injury was diagnosed, car owner Chip Ganassi informed the man who had led the standings nearly all season that his year was done 7 races early.
Well, I mean, you're disappointed because the guys put so much in it and hard work and you know, the guys really focused on winning championship. I was, but you know, it's a deal that you got to get out. I mean, you're going to get another lick. Like I said, you can be paralyzed or whatever. So, you know, I think your health's more important than championship. And got a good team. We'll rebound, come back, get them next year.
Replacing Marlin in the number 40 Dodge would be future teammate and current NASCAR Busch Series up-and-comer Jamie McMurray. All of this on the eve of one of the most unpredictable tracks of them all. Even with 5 teams gunning for $1 million bonus check, 150,000 Alabama race fans were focused solely on the front row and a highly anticipated day-long battle for the points lead. But Jimmy Johnson and Mark Martin never made it to the green flag.
Left front down so far that the tire hit the fender there, Mark. That wasn't it, buddy. It was mechanically down. It was lost. It wasn't a fender.
What in the world? I have no idea.
He's talking like the way he's talking to Ben Leslie is all of a sudden it just locked up. He was turning it left and it would not turn back to the right. It just locked up.
Smaller fuel cells created more action on pit road. It broke up Talladega's notoriously large packs of cars, adding to the restrictor plate chess match. Meanwhile, 6 Hendrick-built engines expired, sending their drivers behind the wall, including Johnson and Jeff Gordon. From there, it was all Dale Earnhardt Jr. towing Tony Stewart across the finish line. Earnhardt earned his 3rd consecutive Talladega win and the No Bowl $1 million bonus. Johnson finished 37th, Martin 30th, and Gordon 42nd. Tony Stewart became the NASCAR Winston Cup points leader for the first time in his career with Joe Gibbs. But those expecting the Home Depot team to drop into a prevent defense would be sorely disappointed.
I want to win. Doesn't matter if 2 of us leave the racetrack at the same time we're heading back to the airport. I want to beat him to the airport. When we show up at the racetrack each week, I'm going to win the race. And if I win the race, the points will take care of itself. So let these other guys points race. I'm going to go win me a couple more races for the years out and try to win this championship that way. You know, everybody wants a Brickyard 400 trophy. Everybody wants a Daytona 500 trophy. But if they had to only pick one, everybody would pick the Winston Cup trophy.
As fans of all ages clung to their drivers' title hopes, the competitors themselves once again waited out the rain at Charlotte. When the green flag dropped, the action was furious and dangerous.
Oh, big trouble on the front stretch. 5-6 cars involved. Kevin Harvick's in it. Ward Burton, Ricky Craven, Robbie Gordon.
The lights came on. The laps wound down. History was being made. 26-year-old Jamie McMurray, in just his 2nd NASCAR Winston Cup start, was running away from the field. 2 weeks earlier, few had heard of the Missouri native. Now everyone watched the youngster lead nearly all of the evening's final 100 laps.
He'll do it! 26-year-old Jamie McMurray pulls off the victory in just his 2nd NASCAR Winston Cup start. Unbelievable!
No driver in NASCAR's modern era had ever visited victory lane so quickly.
I don't believe it. I mean, this is...
You're not the only one, pal.
Oh, I know. This is huge. You know, this is a tough opportunity or a really hard situation with Sterling getting hurt and everything, and he's been great to me, you know, having to sit out, but what an opportunity. Chip and Felix and Coors Light, Haviland, what an opportunity they all gave me. Everyone asks, am I nervous? I'm freaking nervous. I promise you guys right now, I'm nervous.
Entering the final 5 weeks of the 2002 season, fatigue was taking its toll. The cruel math of October continued to eliminate title contenders. Many teams began to shift their focus to the future, while others simply prayed for a quick and painless season conclusion. Martinsville is a classic short track. Aerodynamics mean much less than a strong front bumper and a well-placed shot at a left rear quarter panel.
Final shot, final corner. Benson can't get close enough. Winston Cup win number 2 for Kurt Busch. He takes the Old Dominion 500.
In just his 5th trip to NASCAR's oldest track, Kurt Busch outlasted his brakes and Johnny Benson for his second win of 2002. The total opposite of Martinsville is Atlanta. A trip to the 1.5-mile oval means pure, unhindered speed, where the same bumper contact from the week before can mean a sudden 200-mile-per-hour trip into the wall. Few drivers have mastered both types of race circuit. In the span of only 7 days, Kurt Busch manhandled the Martinsville Bull Ring and tamed the Atlanta Tornado, posting back-to-back wins, serving notice that his team would be a major title contender in 2003. Stewart finished 11th at Martinsville, 4th at Atlanta, enough to boost his points lead to 146 over Mark Martin, the largest lead for any driver all season. With only 3 races remaining, the pressure to squeeze the stopwatch for seconds and points began to fall squarely on the shoulders of the pit crews, leaving no room for error inside each heart-stopping 15-second ballet. Down in the pits, they wouldn't have it any other way. Matt Kence's team won Rockingham's World Pit Crew Championship for the 2nd consecutive season, and their Roush Racing teammates carried that momentum into the race. Kurt Busch and Mark Martin swapped the lead repeatedly. They spent most of the day at the front. Tony Stewart struggled on the track and on pit road, allowing Martin to cut his point lead nearly in half. But the day belonged to a former teammate of Martin's, Michigan's Johnny Benson. Benson overtook Busch with 27 laps to go and held off a furious charge from Martin to end a career-long winless drought in his 226 NASCAR Winston Cup race.
Just a great win. I can't tell you how happy I am for this crew. Not so much myself winning, but these guys deserve it. They work hard, and a lot of guys that were with me at Bahari Racing, we've almost won some, and man, this won't sink in until tomorrow, I'm sure.
Martin's second-place run was enough to cut Tony Stewart's point lead to only 87, but only for a day. The left front spring in Martin's car failed to make it through post-race inspection. The result? A 25-point penalty, increasing Stewart's lead to 112 with only 2 races remaining. A poor showing by Martin at Phoenix could hand the title to Stewart 1 week early. Stewart started the day 16th, Martin 7th. Both spent an afternoon in the Valley of the Sun with one eye on each other and one eye on Matt Kenseth. Kenseth streaked to his series-leading 5th win of the season with Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon in tow. Martin finished 4th, 4 spots ahead of Stewart, and taking back 23 of the 25 points lost in the Rockingham inspection line. The points chase was now to come down to South Florida, but it would do so by way of NASCAR's version of the Supreme Court.
We think it's important that the sport does not enact a penalty structure that penalizes inadvertent technical violations with no performance advantage at the same level that they penalize people who deliberately alter parts and do in fact obtain performance advantage. So we want to make that point regardless of the outcome.
If Martin's appeal was upheld, Stewart's lead entering Homestead would be a scant 64 points. Appeal denied, Stewart would still need to finish 22nd or better to clinch his first NASCAR Winston Cup title. On a Saturday afternoon at Homestead, Florida, Martin's appeal was denied. Meaning, Sunday's scenario was simple. Stewart, starting 6th, had to finish 22nd or better to clinch his first NASCAR Winston Cup title. Martin was starting 34th, and he needed to finish 90 points better than Stewart, the equivalent of 25 positions on the track. Behind the title contenders, only 72 points separated teammates Kurt Busch in 3rd and Matt Kenseth in 8th. In the middle of that points battle stood Jimmie Johnson and Ryan Newman, with the coveted title of Rookie of the Year on the line. Meanwhile, pit road legend Danny Chocolate Myers was going over the wall for the final time, wearing proudly a uniform that he had worn for an old friend. Emotions were high throughout the entire mile-and-a-half facility.
Okay, guys, we've got a lot of ground to make up. Let's get our heads in the game. Focus. This is our last hurrah here. Everybody just do the same job that they've been doing all year. Everything will be just fine.
The South Florida crowd was focused on only 2 cars. The race for the championship was on. Martin quickly began slicing his way through traffic, clawing his way into the top 30, then the top 20. Stewart, on the other hand, was headed backward. If there was trouble on the track, he was sure to be nearby. When Jimmy Spencer spun with 73 laps to go, the Home Depot crew was caught on pit road, losing a lap to the leaders. When John Andretti lost an engine 41 laps later, Stewart dove all the way to the apron to avoid trouble.
Hey, we just got to finish up, and hopefully we can stay out of anything that would happen up front. That's all I'm worried about right now.
In the closing laps, crew chief Ben Leslie had finally hit the setup on Martin's car, catapulting that Ford driver into 4th. But it wouldn't be enough. As Kurt Busch took his 3rd checkered flag in 5 weeks, Stewart streaked across the finish line 18th. His tumultuous year finally finished. The sigh of relief could be heard even over the roar of his Pontiac. Tony Stewart had started the 2002 season in last place. 10 months and 10,000 laps later, he was the champion. The scramble for 3rd in the point standings ended with Kurt Busch on top, followed by Jeff Gordon, who jumped 2 positions with his 13th top 5 finish of the season. Jimmie Johnson finished the year 5th, followed by Ryan Newman. But it was Newman who claimed Rookie of the Year, behind the strength of a series-leading 6 pole positions. Newman's teammate Rusty Wallace finished a disappointing 14th at Homestead, failing to win a race for the first time since the 1986 season. But his final ranking of 7th was his 16th top 10 finish in the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings. As Tony Stewart began to celebrate, the rest of the garage spent a moment to reflect on the season. A season that christened a new generation of racers, that brought new life to a group of longtime veterans. A year that saw 18 different drivers visit victory lanes in 19 different states in front of more than 4 million race fans. But the time for reflection was brief. Daytona was only 11 weeks away. The clock keeps ticking, and it stops for no one.